After the holidays, there's so much to clean up and get ready for the coming year. This leaves me exhausted and a lot of things falling off my to-do list. It's time to lock in, and Omaha Steaks delivers everything you crave to reset after the holidays. An order from them means having high-quality Omaha steaks on hand at all times. I'm a big meat lover myself, and I always go with medium rare. But there's also plenty of poultry and other options available. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to www.omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale and use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring us.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Happy historical NFL Honors Day, Browns fans. Welcome into a quick, very brief microcast here. Dogs Podcast. Josh All, happy Friday. Hope everybody had a great week. It's snowing a freaking in here. Unbelievable. I am so ready to get out of this season and get into spring, free agency, and the draft and all that great stuff that's coming our way on the other side of this dump of snow that's coming down right now. Last night, the Browns made history, so I want to just talk about it real quick here on the show. Myles Garrett, Carson Schwesinger sweeping the categories last night for the Browns of the NFL Honors, taking home the Defensive Player of the Year award and the Defensive Rookie of the Year. We knew this was going to happen. They were the odds-on betting favorites. It was kind of a foregone conclusion that these two were going to win their awards, but still having it set in stone now and the way it happened, I'm going to talk about that, was just so impressive for these two guys and for the Browns in general. I mean, it's a historical night. Now, I've looked it up. I've tried to find historical instances in the NFL where the same team has had both or two players win both Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. And the only examples I can find, 1981, Lawrence Taylor for the New York Giants won both awards himself. So they didn't have two different players win the awards. They had one player win both. So that one doesn't compare to what the Browns just did. And the other one, 2003, Ray Lewis won the Defensive Player of the Year award and Terrell Suggs won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So that's the only other example I can find is the Ravens in 2003. So right now, 2025, Cleveland Browns taking home both of these awards. And like I said earlier, the way in which they won the awards is what was so impressive, honestly. So Myles Garrett, you know what? First of all, let me just go through each player's write-ups here that I put together, and then we'll talk about the voting and all that kind of stuff. So Myles Garrett, obviously, Defensive Player of the Year. We knew this was going to happen. He was a lock for the award. The Sack King set the NFL single-season record with 23 sacks, obviously securing that record at the end of the game in the fourth quarter against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 18. It's extremely impressive that he was able to do this. And I know a lot of the haters and detractors out there say, oh, it took him 17 games to do it or whatever. Remember, he did it in far fewer pass rush opportunities because the Browns were trailing in 13 out of 17 games this season. And that means the opposing offenses could just stick to the ground game more often. They limited the opportunities in which Myles Garrett had to rush the passer. Myles Garrett, not only did he lead the league in sacks and set that sack record, he led the league in tackles for loss with 33. 33 tackles for loss is the second most all time in a single season in NFL history. He was a unanimous Defensive Player of the Year, and this is part of that impressive thing I was talking about earlier. 50 out of 50, all 50 first place votes went to Myles Garrett. No one else got a vote for this award this season. He's only the second player to ever win the Defensive Player of the Year award by a unanimous vote. The only other player to do it was J.J. Watt for the Houston Texans back in 2014. So Myles Garrett, the second ever unanimous DPOY in NFL history. He's only the 9th player to ever win multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards in his career. Only 9 guys have ever won it more than once. Think about that. Before now, it was Joe Green, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Singletary, Reggie White, Bruce Smith, Ray Lewis, J.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald. And of course, now the 9th is Myles Garrett. Every single name on that list resides in the Hall of Fame in Canton, except for obviously J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, and Myles Garrett, because of course they aren't eligible yet to be on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. But make no mistake, all 9 of these players will be in the Hall of Fame, and Myles Garrett will surely be a first ballot Hall of Famer, even though apparently nothing's a given anymore with Hall of Fame voting after this year. Pretty crazy stuff. But regardless, Myles Garrett, Hall of Fame career, no doubt about it. Now, Carson Schwesinger, 156 tackles, was the number 1 leading tackler among all rookies and the number 6 leading tackler among the entire NFL. He had 11 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions to go along with it. 11 tackles for loss is also number 1 among all rookies, and he was number 1 among rookies in run stops. So Carson Schwesinger was all over the place. We know that as Browns fans. We watched the games. He was amazing. It was incredible what he did this year. And the most impressive stat to me of all of this, the most impressive stat I found was 97. Carson Schwesinger played 97% of the defensive snaps this season. That is absolutely unreal in today's NFL landscape. The kid had a high ankle sprain at one point this season. He never missed a snap. Unbelievable. And for Carson Schwesinger, again, to go back, Myles Garrett, unanimous, 50 out of 50 first place votes. Carson Schwesinger, 40 out of 50. Together, Myles Garrett and Carson Schwesinger had 100 votes that they were able to acquire throughout the process for these awards, and they took home 90 out of 100 votes. It's insane. So they pretty much did a clean sweep of these categories. It was so awesome. And I got to tell you guys, it's crazy how many Falcons fans, I don't even know how, I guess it's probably the Kevin Stefanski hire down there that's got Falcons fans linked into my Twitter feed now and everything. But I see so many Falcons fans last night and this morning crying. I mean, just absolutely Pittsburgh Steeler fan crying about James Pierce and Xavier Watts not winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry. Carson Schwesinger was leaps and bounds better than anybody else this season. Any other defensive rookie, including your 2 players, Atlanta. I'm sorry. I love Xavier Watts. I wanted the Browns to draft him. James Pierce had a nice season, but he's a rotational third down pass rusher. I know he had 10.5 sacks. I just talked about Carson Schwesinger. 6th leading tackler in the NFL, number 1 among rookies, all that stuff, plus 97% of the snaps. He was out there every freaking down all season long. No doubter, Carson Schwesinger, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I just want to jump in here and tell you guys all this. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, I'm sure. These 2 players were phenomenal this year. We expected them to win these awards, and now they have achieved it. So congratulations, Myles Garrett, Carson Schwesinger, the Browns defense. This is a great way to transition from a less than, what do I want to say here, less than exciting 2025 season where we had to fire our coach. We couldn't score more than 16 freaking points a game. The offense was terrible. But we have building blocks now heading into 2026, and this is a great transition into the offseason here. We got, like I said, free agency coming up, NFL draft. I got a mock draft 3.0 coming out on Sunday, on Super Bowl Sunday. Make sure you guys check that out. I did the Senior Bowl prospect recaps with Barry Shuck the last couple days. Go check those out as well. There's a lot of positive news and information that we can take for the Browns as we wipe our hands of that 2025 season and get excited for Todd Monken, a new regime. He's bringing over more and more staff. We still don't have a defensive coordinator or a special teams coordinator, but we will hopefully be getting those filled pretty soon. We'll see what happens with Jim Schwartz and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned, stay plugged into the podcast, follow us on all the socials for all the updates, and I will keep bringing you guys video content and podcast content as often as I possibly can. Head to jointhedogs.com if you guys want to be part of the Dog Pack community. Sync up with the private Discord, hang out with everybody in there, 24/7 diehard Browns fan community chat going on. It's incredible. I love everybody in there. Awesome stuff. And then obviously you get to play fantasy football with us whenever that time rolls around each season. You get to be part of the Dog Pack Discord live episodes. Great stuff in the Dog Pack community. It's a great way to support the show. JoinTheDogs.com. Thank you guys for tuning into this quick microcast. Congratulations once again, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, and Defensive Rookie of the Year, Carson Schwesinger, leading the Browns defense as we look to build the offense to somewhat, hopefully, complement the defensive side of the ball in 2026. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy Mock Draft 3.0 on Sunday, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Let's go, Browns. Yeah, of course, just as I wrap up the episode, news pops, Jim Schwartz resigns from the Browns. So, as we expected, he wasn't going to be around anyway next season, but man, there's the news. It's official. He's walking away from Cleveland, doesn't want to be the DC anymore now that the Browns bypassed him for head coach, gave the job to Todd Monken. And we all know, we remember last week whenever the reports came out, when Jim Schwartz was notified that he did not get the job, he stormed out of the building in Berea, told coaches around him he wasn't coming back. And it's like, well, that's not a great look, and there's probably no coming back from that. I know Mary Kay was reporting all week that, don't count Jim Schwartz out just yet. He could still be, the Browns could reconcile with him, this, that, and the other. No, come on. That's the dude. He made his stance, and it would be very awkward and odd for him to backtrack, just to be the DC and everything after all that. So he's gone. Jim Schwartz out. Browns looking for a new defensive coordinator. So want to make sure I dropped that nugget of information before I finished editing this episode and got it out to you guys. So let me know what you think about Jim Schwartz leaving as the defensive coordinator and who you think they should be looking into to replace him. See you guys later. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is partnered with Kalshi. Browns fans, are you ready to put your money where your predictions are? With Kalshi, America's #1 regulated prediction market, you can legally trade on events that actually matter to you. And the best part is you don't need to predict specific stat lines and compile a 7-leg parlay just to win big. With Kalshi, the objective is either yes or no. Will Shedeur Sanders be the Browns' Week 1 starting quarterback? Will the Seattle Seahawks win the Super Bowl? Will Fernando Mendoza be the first overall pick in the NFL draft? And in other sports, will the Cavs make the NBA playoffs? You can put your money on these predictions and more with Kalshi. If you want to try it out, Kalshi is giving $10 to anyone who signs up at kalshi.com/dogs and trades $100. Get away from disadvantageous sports books and dive into real world outcomes with real-time odds and real payouts. Head over to Kalshi, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, or just click the link in the description to get $10 when you trade $100 with Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you get paid for being right?